Today, when we go to the hospital, we are asked to fill out admissions forms. One page of that form says that any tissue that they take out of our bodies can be used for education and research. Such was not the case in 1950, which brings us to the story of Henrietta Lacks. I'd like to share that story with you through the eyes and the heart and in the voice of her daughter. Hello, my name's Deborah Lacks. My mama's name is Henrietta Lacks. She died in 1951 in Johns Hopkins Hospital. She went there for some surgery, and they took her cells and sent them to the lab for tests. And they had to do those tests real fast, because the human cell will die in 48 hours. Johns Hopkins Hospital took my mama's cells without her knowing it and without her giving permission. Then when they went back to check on them, they hadn't died. They had split and reproduced themselves every 24 hours. My mama been dead for 60 years, and them cells are still out there splitting, multiplying, growing. Science calls her HeLa. Because you see, when a new thing pops up, they name it for the person that discovered it, or in this case, the person they took it from. They take the first two letters of that person's name, and then they add the first two letters of their last name. They makes a new name for the new thing. These human cells that reproduce themselves every 24 hours were called HeLa. H-E for Henrietta, L-A for Lacks. Oh, when I go to my doctor and I tell him that my mama is HeLa, oh, they get so excited. They commence to telling me all the potent things that she's done. Like she made my blood pressure pills, or she made my anti-depression pills. And she made that polio vaccine. I don't know how she did all that. But I'm glad for her, because it sounds like she helped a lot of people. And I think she would kind of like that. But one thing seems strange to me. If our mother's cells meant so much to medical history, how come her family can't afford no doctors? People got rich off of my mama's cells without us even knowing that they took them. That first factory that pumped out HeLa cells, trillions of them in a week's time. And it was built only for one purpose, to fight that polio. After a while, any scientist in the world with a laboratory and $10 could order some HeLa cells of his own. Lots of people got lots of money from my mama's cells. And we, her family, didn't get a dime. I used to get mad about it and had to fight over it, but I ain't got much fight in me now. I was just 2 years old when my mama died. I just want to know who she was And I want you to know, too. Now, here's what I do know. Before she was healer in a petri dish, my mother was a poor southern tobacco farmer, working the same lands as her slave ancestors did. She gets married. She has 5 children. And then she gets a lump in her that is growing fast and fierce. She goes to the Johns Hopkins Clinic. And the doctors there tell her that she has a malignant tumor on her cervix and that it has to be removed. After they removed the tumor, they said the cancer was gone. But it wasn't. Mama couldn't even walk. But somebody in the family took her to Johns Hopkins clinics for radiation. They thought the doctors were trying to cure her. They didn't know she was dying. Finally, Johns Hopkins Hospital admitted her. And toward the end, a doctor leaned over my mother's bed and said to her, "Henrietta, your cells will save the lives of countless people." And they tell me that she looked up at him and smiled, and she said, I hope my pain and suffering helps somebody. And then she was gone. Let me tell you something, so as to explain why I'm so upset. My brother, Sonny, in the year 2003, underwent quadruple bypass surgery. The last thing he remembers before going unconscious was some doctor leaning over his bed and saying, "Sonny, your mama's cells are the most important thing in medical research." When my brother woke up, he was $125,000 in debt because he didn't have no insurance to cover the surgery. Now that ain't right. I know it's right and you know it's right. And that ain't right. And I know it's right and you know that it's not right. The only person that I know of to help me make it right is a white lady named Rebecca Skloot. That Rebecca, she was as fierce as them HeLa cells. She kept coming back, and we were rude to her. We slammed doors in her face. We were so mean to her. And let me explain to you why we was so mean. You see, Mama didn't know about them taking her cells. And neither did we for 20 years. And then all of a sudden, doctors and scientists and lab technicians began to call my father. And he called all us kids. Said they wanted to research the cancer so we wouldn't catch the cancer my mama had. What did I know? Our mama was about my age when she died of cancer. I didn't want to die of cancer and leave my children motherless. So I opened my door. We all opened our doors. And then we opened our veins, let them take blood more than once. And that's when we learned about those HeLa cells. They were taking advantage of us like they took advantage of Mama. They wasn't trying to protect us from no cancer. They had just discovered something called DNA. They wanted to see if our DNA matched Gila's. We were so sick and tired of people tricking us that when Rebecca came around, we said, no, we're not talking to anybody. But she kept coming back saying she wanted to give Henrietta her due. See, she learned about HeLa cells in a college science class. And when she asked about the donor, who the donor was, the professor said, oh, some insignificant female in Johns Hopkins Negro ward. Rebecca was mad. She said, I ain't no scientist. I'm a writer. I want to know that woman's story so I can tell the world, so she can get the recognition that she needs. And so we opened our doors to her and we told her what little of Mama's story we knew. And Rebecca did it. My mama's suffering has caused good enough medicine for everybody in this room. And before now, all I had was some medical reports to show for it. But now, I got the book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I want you to read that book, because I know if you read it, you're going to tell everybody you know about two wondrous women. Henrietta Lacks, who lived that story, and Rebecca Skloot, who dared to bring that story to life. Thank you. Once again, I forgot the book.